doing today? Sorry, I didn't have my mic on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you beautiful people doing today? How you doing today? How you feeling? What's the vibes? Okay. Make sure everyone's good. How's the audio for you guys? Sounding okay? I want to make sure you guys experience is absolutely magnificent. Okay. Let's do a little audio checks. So, you guys are starting off the live stream crazy today. Someone said hi, master. You guys are funny. How are you guys doing? How you guys doing? Sharice, good to see you. Yeah, you missed us out yesterday. I was wondering where you were. We had a really good, interesting live stream. So, it's unfortunate that you weren't there. I'm sad that you weren't there, Sharice. But I'm glad you're here today. And I'm glad all the rest of you are here to join me today because we are going to have such a beautiful, amazing conversation today, as we always do, guys, as we always do. Okay. I hope I see in the chat that some of you guys, didn't get a chance to join me right at the beginning last time. So whenever you get a chance to join right at the beginning, you get a chance to see the new intro. And the new intro is awesome. So I'm so glad for those of you who get a chance to see that. Okay. Now we're all here in the chat. You know what we do. I like the intro because I get to just jump right into it and get started. Let's do roll call. For those of you who are new here, roll call is just you got to say here present. So I know you're here present and actively paying attention and participating with me and everyone else in the live stream. So let's get it started. If you're here, you're paying attention, you say here present so that I know that you're here and you're paying attention. Okay. Very well. Okay. And then once everyone has done roll call, we will get started here. Okay, I'm just making sure that all the audio stuff is good for everyone. Okay, good to see all you beautiful people. Okay. I see we got Sharice here, we got Sophia here, we got Lizzie here, we got Day here, we got Cream here. Cream is the one that said hi, master. I already know Cream's gonna be funny today. Okay, Cream's a funny name. Hello to all you beautiful, amazing, awesome, loving, caring people, smart, intelligent people. You got to be smart and intelligent if you're here with me. SH is here, of course. SH is here as well. Okay. Good to see all of you beautiful people. This is like the first day in a long time. Brianna hasn't been the first one to Brianna hasn't been the first one to say here present. I'm surprised. Tommy surprised, okay? But still, good to see all of you beautiful people here, okay? Now, let's get started with the live stream because I know what you're here for. Oh, Brianna's here. Oh, you did say here. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't see it. I must have missed it. I was wondering. I'm like, usually Brianna should be so on time and she'd be ready to chat. Okay, let's get started with the live stream. Before I start, Brianna, SH, and Sharice are 3 moderators. So if you have questions that maybe I'm on a rant and I don't get to, you can ask them in the TikTok live stream chat. We also I'm going to start making moderators in the YouTube chat too, is because the YouTube chat is starting to grow as well. We had like a good amount of people yesterday. So I'm going to have to start, getting some moderators and getting some A+ students in the YouTube chat as well. Let's get started, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make a guy regret you, how to make a man regret you, how to make a boy regret you, whatever you want to call them. Okay. We're going to have 5 different ways. I like doing lists now because I feel like you guys absorb the information a lot better when I do lists. You kind of jot them down, you kind of take notes and stuff like that, whatever, just stick it in your brain. I feel like lists are a lot better. So that's what I'm going to start doing for now. We're going to have 5 ways that you can get him to regret losing you. Notice I didn't say 5 ways that you can go back to him. Okay. I also didn't say 5 ways that you can get your ex back in your life. Okay. I said 5 ways that you can get him to regret losing you. Okay, so let me make that clear, because I feel like when some people hear regret losing you, they think, oh, this is my opportunity to get him back. No. You just want him to feel bad about the loss, okay? So let's get started with number one here, to get him to regret losing you. Number one, and probably the most important one, they're all important, but if you can't start with this, then you have no idea where you're going. Number one, in order to get him to regret losing you, do not respond to his texts or his calls or any sort of reach out. I don't care if he comes knocking on your door or rings your doorbell. Okay? Very, very, very important that you do not respond to texts, calls, or any sort of reach out. Okay? Do you guys in the chat, I know you guys are smart and intelligent, right? You're just as smart as me. We're all smart together. Do you guys know why I say don't respond to calls or texts if you want him to regret losing you? Do you know why I tell you to do that? Of course, I'm going to explain it. But do you know why I start with that? Do you know why that's so important? That you don't answer his calls or text in order for him to regret losing you. Cherie started it off. She's so smart. She says scarcity. What else you guys got? What else you guys got? I want to see everyone participating. I didn't say roll call for only Sharice to be participating, because then you feed his ego, showing him that he still has a place in your life. Okay, I like that. YouTube chat, you guys better be participating too. I'm going to hold you guys to a higher standard. Okay, no more in the YouTube chat. Now that we're going to have more people in the YouTube chat, it's going to start rivaling the TikTok chat. You guys better be participating. I don't want you guys in the YouTube chat thinking that I don't know if you're not participating and you're just watching, and it's okay if you just watch on YouTube and don't participate, okay? Someone else says scarcity. That's right. Someone said feel absence. Brianna said, sorry. I missed Brianna's message. Let me go back to it. Brianna said, you'll have a life outside of him. Yes, exactly. Sophia, what's the question again? Do you guys know why it's very important? You got to be paying attention. Do you guys know why it's very important that you don't respond to his calls or texts if you want him to regret losing you? Do you guys know why that's so important? That was the question. Okay. Elizabeth said self-love. Show him he's not important anymore. Okay. I like that. Oh my goodness. You're still accessible. Smart cookie. Okay. You don't want to be too accessible ever, at no point. Okay. Now, the reason I say, someone said in control as well. I like that one. The reason I say you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're responding to his texts and calls, why it's so important, why we start with that in order to get him to regret losing you, is because remember, we're trying to get him to regret losing you. That's why I started with the disclaimer at the beginning. We're trying to get him to regret losing you, not trying to get him to regret not having you for a couple of months and then being able to get back with you. It doesn't have the same effect. The whole point of this is for him to regret losing you, meaning that he has lost you, meaning that you are not coming back. Okay? So the advice that I'm giving you and the techniques that I'm telling you to use only really work if you're actually gone. They don't really work if you're only gone for a couple of days and then you come back, because they don't have the same effect. The whole point of the effect is that you're gone now, but you just want him to feel that. You understand what I'm saying? Which is fine. I'm going to tell you how to do that. But the whole point, right? You're going to waste your time if you're trying to get a guy to regret losing you only for you to come back to him anyways, right? Because you have to understand with guys, a lot of times, right, the realization that they've lost you can be terribly painful, and they'll start love bombing you, saying all these things, doing all these things to try and get you back, right, in their life and to the place that you were in their life. But if you come back, right, after he does a little bit of finagling and he says a couple of nice words and he does, tells you how much he loves you and he misses you and all that good stuff, it's kind of pointless, because by the time he gets you back, most of the time he reverts back to his old behavior, because there's not really, especially if it's only been a couple of days or a couple of months, or sorry, a couple of days, or, like maybe a week or two, there's not really any sort of regret there, right? It's like, yeah, I'm sad for a bit, but you still talk to me. You'll still come hang out with me. After I say sorry a couple of times, you'll still entertain me, and it's all good, right? You don't want to put yourself in that situation. So it's very important that if you're trying to get a guy to regret losing you, that you make sure that you're not responding to him whatsoever. Okay? Rach said, what if you see him at the grocery store 3 weeks post ghosting? Perfect. I'm so glad. See, this is why I like you guys to participate, and I like you guys to ask questions as it relates to what we're talking about, because it allows me to address things that I'm sure, are important to all of you guys. That's a perfect question, Rach. If you see him in real life, the same way I said you don't respond to his texts and calls, and I also put in his reach outs, you don't acknowledge his existence whatsoever. Okay? Once he's lost you, he does not exist to you. Okay? He could be in Antigua. He could be in Bora Bora. He could be doing whatever he's doing. You're not mad about it. You're not sad about it. You're not happy about it. You don't feel anything, because his existence is irrelevant to you. Okay? Someone says, what if we were on a break? Well, why would you want someone to regret losing you on a break? Like I said, the whole point of this is that he has lost you. You're not getting a guy to regret being on a break with you is not the same thing, especially when he knows he's coming back to you. He can miss you, but he's not going to regret losing you. He hasn't lost you. You see what I mean? Chris in the YouTube chat says, do we remove them from close friends too? I'm going to get to that. There's a whole 5 things. Don't worry. Just stay tuned. Just listen. We're going to get to that. Okay. I'm glad that you asked. Okay. But if you see him in a grocery store, you ignore him. If you see him at a family reunion, you ignore him. If you see him at a party, you ignore him, right? You don't acknowledge his existence whatsoever. You're trying to get this man to regret losing you, not trying to get this man to, I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. What's up, big head? And then now he's in your Squirtle again. That's not what you're trying to do here. So it's very important that we're all clear how you're supposed to be going about this. You do not acknowledge his existence whatsoever. And when I say you don't acknowledge his existence, I'm not saying, oh, you don't acknowledge his existence. I'm mad at you. I don't want to talk to you. No, you're irrelevant to me. I'm blocking you. No, I don't want to see you. I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to be. No. That's giving it energy. You don't give it any energy. You don't give it any energy. His existence has literally poof. He ceased to exist. He's vanished into thin air. And whatever memories you held with him, that you shared with him, experiences that you had with him, have poof, vanished into thin air. Now, obviously, I don't mean literally, right? Because you're still going to think about the relationship and stuff like that. I'm not saying ignore your feelings, but what I'm saying is that is the way you should be approaching it. If you really want him to regret losing you, if you don't care that much, or it doesn't matter to you that much or whatever, then do whatever you want to do. But if you really want him to regret losing you, that is the approach that you have to have, is that poof, your existence has vanished into thin air and I can't be bothered to even feel a way about it. Right? Because the anger or the sadness or being upset, right? That's still an emotion. That's still energy towards it, right? When a guy regrets losing you or feels like he missed out on you, and then he sees that you're still angry or upset about the situation, well, you're giving him what he wants because you're putting energy towards it, right? He knows that you still care about him, right? Or the situation, or you still have feelings for him if he sees that you're super upset with him, or he sees that you're going out of your way. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to mess with you. I don't like you. Right? You just Like Jada just said, you just continue doing you. You don't worry about what he's doing. You don't concern yourself with what he's doing. It doesn't matter to you what he's doing, how he's living, who he's with, who he's spending time with, who he follows, who he doesn't follow. Right? Oh, the mic's bugging again. Sorry. I hate when this happens. There we go. Should be fixed now. Should be fixed now. Better now? Better now? Okay. Right? Very important that this is how you guys go about this. Thank you guys for always keeping me on track here. You guys do it so quick. I get to fix it quick. Right? Uganda said, like someone else said, what if he approaches you at the grocery store? You ignore him. You ignore all aspects of his existence. If you see him at the grocery store, because like, be smart. Like, you can, if you're aware of your surroundings, you can see him from a distance, possibly even before he sees you. In the event that you don't see him and he just taps you on the shoulder and you realize it's him, just walk away. There is a lot of embarrassment that he will feel. You don't feel it because you're walking away. That he will feel if he actually taps you on the shoulder and you just walk away and he just sits there awkwardly, right? But that's even better because that's painful. Because you have to understand, if he's bold enough for you guys to break up or whatever the situation is and whatever your relationship was, and he still feels like you guys are comfortable enough with each other that if he saw you at a grocery store, he could actually come up to you, then that should tell you he's not even at the point yet where he could possibly regret losing you, because he still feels like there's enough of rapport there. There's enough of comfortability there that if he saw you at a grocery store, he could just come up to you, start a chat, and you would chat with him, right? He doesn't really feel like he's lost you. He might feel like, okay, maybe we're not in a serious relationship anymore, but I didn't lose you. Like, you'd still be in my life. If I told you I wanted to hang out with you right now, you'd still go. Right? You still miss me. You still care about me, right? So it eases his own mind where he's not thinking, damn, she wants nothing to do with me anymore. Damn, I messed up. Damn, because that's the whole point of this, right? You want to move on with your life, but you also want this person, this guy specifically, to feel like, damn, I messed up. Damn, I should have treated her better. Damn. Like Ice Spice, damn. Okay, so it's very important that to start off, before you do anything, you understand that you are not responding to his text. You're not answering anything that he uses to reach out to you, right? Someone said he stood at the store watching me before saying hi. After 3 minutes, he told me he was scared to say hi. Irrelevant to you and your life. Relevant to you and your life. Tashena said, I miss you, having seen your content in a while. You got to make sure you turn on my notifications, because I'm live literally Monday through Friday, every single 5 days a week. So I'm still here, plenty of here. Got to make sure you got our notifications on. Don't let TikTok control whether you see me or hear from me. Okay? And also, you should subscribe to me on YouTube, because I post a lot on there too. So very important, guys. Very important that we're all of the same mindset. You don't acknowledge him wherever he is, however he presents to himself to you. I think it was Cleo that said he was waiting at the grocery store for me for irrelevant. His existence is irrelevant to you. Irrelevant to you. You're not mad about it. You're not sad about it. You don't feel anything about it. You just don't feel. You're only worried about yourself. Okay? Mary said in the YouTube chat, he's basically unalived. I can't say that because it's TikTok. So he's basically unalived. Right? Exactly. Right? So that's number one. Pretty straightforward. I feel like that. I don't think that needs much explaining. You don't speak to him. You don't acknowledge him. You don't care about him. You don't talk to him. You don't say hi to him. None of that. Okay? None of that. Number two, and I told you we would get to this, Krissa, because you asked about this, right? Do we remove them from his close friends and stuff like that? Number two, you let him watch. Okay? Now, this is going to cover a broad spectrum of things, but I want to get specific here, right? Let's start off with social media. You let him watch your social media. Now, obviously, not in every single scenario he's going to be watching your stories. There probably will be some scenarios in which the guy's not watching your story, right? But you want to give him the ability to watch your stuff, okay? If he really was pressed enough to. I know some of you guys have private profiles. I'm not saying that you have to make your profile unprivate if you don't want to, right? But you want to at least give him the ability to watch. SA says, what if we're not on social media? I'm going to get to that side as well, okay? But starting off with social media, because I know most of you guys are on social media and most of you guys are always checking up on what everyone's doing on social media, right? You want to let him watch. Now, let me be very clear. I am not saying after you break up with this guy, you should continue following him, right? I'd actually recommend, what just happened? I'd actually recommend that if you're serious about moving forward with your life and you're serious about the relationship ending, I'd recommend to you that you unfollow him so that you're not tempted to look at what he's doing, okay? But also in that, right? I don't mean that you should unfollow him and then block him, right? I don't recommend that. In this scenario, if you want him to regret losing you, I would advise you to unfollow him, but allow him to stay following you, right? Allow him to stay following you. Someone, Dayang said, just mute him. That's also a possibility. Although I would recommend, because you also want to get the point across that you're done with him. You don't care about what he's doing or what he's on. So unfollowing him is a good sign to someone else that like, oh no, like they really actually don't care for what I'm doing. They don't even care to see what I'm up to, right? Especially if he also has maybe a private profile or whatever, right? It's good to unfollow them just to send a message, even if they don't see it, right? Maybe they eventually check up on it or not, whatever, right? It's good to send the message that like, yeah, you have been removed from my life. I don't need to see what you're doing. I don't care what you're doing. It's irrelevant to me what you're doing. My life is moving forward. Your life can go wherever it goes. I don't really care. Okay. And it's good to send that message. That's why I would advise to actually unfollow him. Okay. And this can be used vice versa. If you're a guy watching this, I don't want you to think that this only applies to girls. This can be used for anyone, right? Unfollow him, but don't block him so that he can't see what you're doing, whether it be on Snapchat, Instagram. I know some of you guys post on WhatsApp. I'm not familiar. I don't do that. But WhatsApp, if it's Facebook, right? If it's TikTok, I don't know. I don't know why you guys be watching each other's TikTok stuff, but TikTok, whatever it may be, okay? You want to unfollow him, but allow him to keep following you as long as he wants to. Maybe he might unfollow you too. But as long as he wants to, allow him to keep following you and let him watch, right? Let him watch you post. Let him watch you go out with friends. Let him watch you enjoy your life. Let him watch you do whatever it is that you're doing, right? Living your life. Let him watch it, okay? All right? Because you want him to see that you're moving forward with your life. You want him to see that you're enjoying your life. You want him to see that your life didn't just revolve around him and he wasn't just your only source of happiness, because he shouldn't be, okay? He shouldn't be. Right? Valeria said he muted me after watching my stories and he still has me on his close friends. He's doing to you the strategy that I'm teaching you. That's the funny part, is that the strategy that I'm actually teaching to you guys, some of these guys are using that strategy already on you. And you see how well it's working? Because you're just like, damn, what's going on? You know what I mean? So that's how you know this strategy works. Because some of you guys are having this strategy done on you. Right? Krista said, but if you unfollow them, maybe you show that you care enough to spend even 3 seconds to unfollow them. No. Don't get all confused. Okay. You're still trying to send a message that like you have done something to me or whatever. Our relationship has run its course. I no longer want anything to do with you. Now that I don't longer want anything to do with you, I'm going to cut off all my ties and relations to you, right? But once I cut off all my ties and relations to you, you can do whatever you want with your life. I'm not going to sit here thinking and reminiscing about the times that were, or about how much I still miss you and want to be with you, right? My life is moving forward. So the unfollow is not meant to represent, oh, I'm unfollowing you because I'm mad. No, blocking represents that. If you block someone, it's like, no, I'm blocking you because I'm mad, right? If you unfollow someone, it's like, no. I don't want to see what you're doing. I don't care what you're doing. You can do what you want. I'm not watching it. I'm not observing it. My life is moving forward in this direction. You can do whatever you want with your time. If you still want to watch me, you can watch me as much as you want. If you don't have to. I'm not even checking up on it. I don't care. Okay? Right? So it's like that. It's like that. Okay? And so you want to get him in the position where he's able to watch you, right, as much as he wants, and see what you're up to, see what you're doing, see what you're about, see what you're on, whether you're going out with friends, whether you're going out with this, if you're going out on a date, whatever it may be. I'm not saying you got to force a date. I'm just saying live your life and let him see that. I know some of you guys like posting on social media. So some of you guys, if you're a Snapchat person, you do it on Snapchat, whatever you don't have to go out of your way to post on an app that you never post on. Just do what you've been doing and post on whatever this place is that you usually spend your most time. Okay. If you're an Instagram girly, do your thing on Instagram. Have yourself looking good, going out to your restaurants, all that good stuff. If you're a Snapchat girly, post yourself on Snapchat. If you're a WhatsApp girly, do that on WhatsApp. If you're a Facebook girly, probably a woman because you're a little bit older. If you're a Facebook girly, do yourself on Facebook. No diss. I shouldn't have dissed. No diss. But right. Whatever your choice of application is, okay, do that and let him watch you. If he chooses to, if he doesn't want to unfollow you, whatever, right? And just allow him to watch. You don't have to. I actually am going to tell you to purposely not block him, because blocking is a sign that I care, right? Right, that's a sign that you care. You don't want him to get the inkling that you care too much. Okay. Someone said, what if I already blocked him? Then unblock him. Very simple. I didn't say follow him. I didn't say like his pictures. Okay. I didn't say message him. I didn't say watch his stories. I just said unblock him. That's it. That's all you got to do. Okay. Now, number 3. So we had number 1 was do not respond to his texts or calls or anything like that. Number 2 was let him watch. Number 3, very important. Number 3 is very important. You do not watch him. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to what I'm saying? You do not watch him. Do you guys know why I say to not watch him? Let me know in the chat, okay? Because the other 2 have been fairly straightforward. Let me know in the YouTube chat and the TikTok chat. I want you guys to answer to me, why do you think I say you do not watch him? Why do you guys think that's important? Okay? Valerie said my toxic trait is watching his stories, so my name can pop up. Okay. Angel said it shows you care. Okay. What was it? Tavia says ego boost for him. He will think I care. Okay. Feeding his ego. Okay. Interesting. Cherie says you don't want him to know you're thinking about him. Tiffany in the YouTube chat says make you feel some type of way. He thinks you still care. Nicole says you care and they see that. Luguin says, Luguin? I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. So he doesn't think you still care, right? Chrissy says for your mental health. Yeah. Book Lover says because he wants attention. Okay. So you can focus on yourself. They might think you still like them because you're booked and busy. Okay. I like that. What's that? Oh, LOL says because watching his stories makes you miss him. Okay. Sarah says not out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Creating the impression of complete apathy. Wow. You a smart little cookie. You using big words. Being nonchalant. Okay. It's mouse behavior, Nicole J said in the YouTube chat. Luan. Or Lujan. Lujane. Okay, sorry. Lujane. I got it. Like Mary Jane, Lou Jane. He will probably post pictures with other women that could make you sad or angry. All of these are really good answers. You guys are so smart, okay? Oh, someone even said watching his story may trigger you. Yes. So I say I would advise you, right? This is all just advice. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. I would advise you to not watch his stuff because it will do multiple things that are bad. And you guys mentioned a lot of them, right? It will trigger you is definitely one, okay? Because you never know what you might stumble upon when you're watching his stories, okay? You might see him going out with another girl. That's triggering. You might see him out at a spot that he used to take you. That's triggering. You might see him, I don't know, just hanging out, and maybe for whatever reason that's triggering, you know? You don't want to do you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're on the couch or you're in your bed sad and all upset, and now you want to text him or call him. Don't do that to yourself. And you'll definitely do that to yourself if you're spending all days refreshing his page to see if he'll ever post a story. That's very sad and desperate behavior. Okay? I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? If the relationship is over, allow it to be over, okay? Don't sit on your bed refreshing his story 100 times a day to see if he has posted something, okay? Like, you need, get a grip, okay? Get a grip. But it's also very important that you do not watch him, because there is an ego element attached to breaking up with the girl, right? Or not even breaking up with a girl, just a breakup in general, where if someone can identify that you're still curious about what they're doing, it's an ego boost, because that's a clear sign that you still care what I'm doing, because you're still interested in me and you probably still have feelings for me, okay? I'm not saying that, oh, you shouldn't have feelings for the guy or you shouldn't care about the guy or whatever, but the whole point of this is that you want him to regret losing you, right? And there's no space for him to regret losing you and feel like he missed out on something, when he also simultaneously feels like you still care a lot, to the point where you're going to watch him doing what he's doing, right? Rather than him feeling regret, he's going to feel the ego boost of like, haha, you still care. You still love me. Now I can play with your emotions. Now I can post some sneaky, some sus stuff. And then now you'll probably be feeling the type of way because you're watching all of my stuff. It's control, right? You're giving him the ego boost because now he still feels like he has control over you, even though the relationship is over. And you never want to put yourself in a position where the guy still feels like he has control over you, even when the relationship is over, because that's a first class ticket to pain down, where you're constantly going to be in pain. And you might find yourself in a situation where he realizes how much he can manipulate you. So he comes back in your life just to keep control of you, because he knows how much control he has over you, even when you guys are broken up, right? You don't want to give him that amount of control, right? And you don't want to be boosting his ego and making him feel like you care enough to be sitting around watching what he's doing. Especially those of you, because I've had a bunch of you guys be like, telling me like, oh, you know, I was watching his stories and he just posted a story. I just seen it 32 seconds ago. Bro, like, you're watching his stories and you're able to see them in the first 30 seconds. Like, get a grip. Get a grip. Get a grip. Okay? Assuming the relationship is actually over, you need to get a grip. Okay? Because you will not be able to do anything in life if you're paralyzed by the feeling of like, oh, I miss this person and I want to get back with this person, and I'm reminiscing on all the memories I've had with this person. At the end of the day, if the relationship is over, you need to treat it as being over and you need to move forward with your life. The only way you can ever see the relationship that you want, get the relationship that you want, right, is if the relationships that aren't what you want, you put them to the side and you don't focus your time and attention on them anymore, right? A lot of you guys are living your lives in this gray area where you have people who are kind of half in your life, half out of your life, not really in a serious relationship with you, but kind of in a relationship with you. You don't claim each other, but you're with each other. And so you spend all this time being confused and not having clarity and going back and forth and doing all this. That's the real version of playing games. You guys always talking to me about, oh, relationships are too much work. Dating is too much work. I don't want to play games. I don't want to play games. That's the real playing games. When you don't set boundaries, when you don't have standards or expectations for yourself and what you expect from a man, and you sit around hoping and praying that he'll show you what he needs to show you and he'll be the one to come save your life and tell you that he wants you and tell you that he wants to be in a relationship with you. No. If he wants you, you tell him this is how you have to behave and act if you want access to me. Okay? And you provide clarity so that he knows if he doesn't act like that, he won't have access to you. But see, a lot of you guys enjoy living in this gray area, right? Or maybe you have and you're changing now, which is good. But a lot of times when you enjoy living in the gray area, or you're too lazy to set standards and expectations or boundaries because you don't think that's true love if you set boundaries and expectations, okay? And you feel like, oh, true love should just be two people coming together and loving each other because they love each other so much. That's great in a Disney princess movie, but in real life, people will take advantage of you until you put your foot down and demand respect. That's how real life is, okay? If you want to call that playing games, then call that playing games. But the real game is when you're sitting around after 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months with no relationship and no commitment, and you're hoping that today will be the day where he decides he wants to make you his girlfriend, even though he's getting girlfriend treatment from you and has been getting it for the past 9 months. That's the real version of playing games. When you sit around waiting for something to happen that truly and honestly is never going to happen. That's the real playing games. What's not playing games is actually standing on business. For those of you who are unfamiliar, that's new slang for the kids, okay? And respecting yourself, setting boundaries, having standards and expectations of what relationship you want and how you expect a man to treat you, and not putting your time and attention into the men who aren't going to treat you like that. Very, 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 very simple. Very simple. You don't have to live in a gray area where you're like, but why won't you do this for me? Why won't you treat me with respect? Why won't you care for me? Why won't you acknowledge me? Why won't you give me attention? Why won't you be nice? No. If you're not prepared to do that, more power to you. You can step to the side. I will make time for all the other men who are more than prepared to do that for me. If it's not you, my life is still great. Okay, that's really how you have to go about this. That is not playing games, right? That you can still have true love, right? While still demanding respect and getting respect. Okay? Because the only people that get respect in this world are people that demand respect in this world. You don't get respect or attention from people, right? If you don't work for it. Your mere existence is not a reason for someone to love you. Your mere existence is not a reason for someone to desire you. I seen this, and this is still on topic, so don't think I'm going way off topic. I seen this comment because I like to rewatch my lives to make sure I'm getting an understanding of how everyone feels, what everyone thinks about what I'm saying, because sometimes when I'm on a rant, I don't see every comment. So I was rewatching my live stream yesterday, and I seen someone comment a couple times Well, this is like, there's too much work. This is playing games. Why should I have to do all this to get a guy to desire me? Why should I have to do all this to get a guy to notice me or care about me or love me and all this stuff, right? I just want it to be easy where he just loves me for me. Like I always say, that sounds good in a Disney princess movie, but let me ask you a question, vice versa. Okay? If I was a man if I was a man, I am a man. As a man, pretend I'm a guy and I'm sitting here saying, why don't the girls love me and choose me over the rich men? These men who are rich, they're millionaires, they have nice cars, nice houses, they have all these resources, they can take care of women. Why do those men always get chosen over me? Just because I don't have any money and no job and no financial stability, no financial literacy. I can't take care of someone or pay for anything or provide at all. I can barely even provide for myself. Why do all the girls want the rich men? Why don't they want the men like me who are just regular and normal? Why don't they want me for my mere existence? I mean, I'm existing. I'm a man, right? My existence should be the only reason that someone loves me. They shouldn't love me more or less because of how much I can provide. Why does my money matter? This world is so cruel. Where can I find true love? Where a woman will just love me and I wouldn't be more or less attractive depending on how much resources or money I had. That's the reality of life, okay? Okay? People, as a man, whether I like it or not, if I have more resources, if I have more money, okay, it's going to affect my attractiveness. I will be more attractive to the women, right? Who obviously would desire a man who can protect and provide, right? It makes me more desirable to women. That is the reality. So, what does that mean? If I want to be more desirable to women, I'm going to have to work at it. Even if I just say, oh, I just want to be physically more attractive to women. I don't want to have, I want the girls to love me, see me and be like, damn, he looks like a model. Damn, he's so sexy. I have to go to the gym and work out so that I can be more physically desirable. That is work. That requires effort. But see, when I get there and I have that and I am a rich man who's in shape and physically attractive, then I get all the girls and they all desire me a lot. Do you understand how that works? And it works the same. The reason I give that example is because sometimes when I project it as you and you're living as you live with your own biases and you think, oh, well, it's me. So everyone should know how amazing I am and everyone should see that. So someone should just come along and love me without me actually having to do anything or put in any work or have to, have any effort put into it. Right? Because it's me, right? It's not true love if they don't just love me for just existing. Well, no one would love anyone for just existing. If you want to really be desired by people, you want people to really be interested in you, you're going to have to do work, right? You're going to have to put in effort in order for people to be more interested in you, to desire you more, to chase after you more, okay? Right? That's just the reality of life. And it's not just you as women that have to go through that. It's all of us that have to go through that. If I'm, like I just said, if I'm a man and I want to be more desirable, I got to get more money. I got to have more success, right? I got to have more resources, right? It's just the reality because I got to protect and provide. There is no version of the world where women aren't looking for a protector and a straight heterosexual woman. I'm only talking about. There is no version of the world where the straight heterosexual women are looking for a man who can't protect and provide. So the more time and effort I put into that, the more I will be desired by those women. But that requires effort. I don't get to just sit on my butt and play video games all day and expect that someone should fall out of the sky and love me for the video gaming, couch sitting man that I am. Okay? And that's what I want you guys to understand. Like, this is like, yes, this is work. Yes, this requires effort. All this stuff that we talk about and I teach you. Yeah, you're going to have to learn. Yeah, you're going to have to try some things. Yeah, you're going to have to do things that, require some effort, unfortunately. But like, that's the reality of anything worth anything. You're going to have to work for it. You're not just going to have a perfect relationship because you get a perfect relationship. You're going to have to work for it. Guys aren't just going to desire you just because you exist. All the Instagram models that you see, your favorite, the boy that you like and that you're texting all the time and that you can't get a call back from, right? He's liking a whole bunch of girls' IG pictures. You want to know what those Instagram models are doing to get his attention, even though they don't know him? Right? They're going to the gym every single day. Some of them are getting BBLs too, but they're working on themselves every single day. They're going out, they're getting ready, they're posting pictures, they're getting all their good angles, right? They're putting themselves out there every single day to be in front of your man, so your man is lusting over them. But even that takes effort, right? They don't just get to sit on their butt and do nothing and your man desires them. They still have to put themselves out there consistently and be cognizant of how they'll be perceived by the men and what would make them the most desirable to the men, which is why the men then in turn desire them, chase after them, like their IG pictures, message them, subscribe to their OF, do all that weird stuff. Okay? Someone said, so it's all about looks. I'm not saying that it's all about looks, but what I am saying is that in the process of creating desire, even in your relationships, that requires effort. The only reason I gave the example of the Instagram model is because I know a lot of you guys wonder, why does the Instagram model get the attention from my man that I don't even get? Because the Instagram model understands that in order for someone to desire me, I have to put in effort in order to be more desirable. Meanwhile, you sit back and expect that your man should just love you for just existing. That's not how it works. And I'm not just talking about looks. I'm talking about like pouring into yourself to make yourself more attractive to the men you're trying to attract. It's the same thing for men. Like I say, don't think that I'm just saying, you do bad, you do bad, you do bad, you don't know, you're dumb, right? It's the same thing for men. In order for me to attract women, I'm actually going to have to sit down and be honest with myself and probably ask some questions about what do women find attractive. And then I'm going to have to do my best to put effort into those places so that I can be attractive to the women I'm trying to attract. I know when I break it down like this, it sounds very simple and easy. But a lot of times when we're going about our life, we make it way more complicated than it has to be. If I want to attract women, straight heterosexual women, I should probably have a really clear idea of what straight heterosexual women find attractive. Same thing, vice versa. If you want to understand how to be really attractive to men, you should probably ask a lot of questions and get a really good idea of what the men find attractive. And figure out how you don't have to change yourself, but figure out the aspects of you that you can embody and put effort into where you can become more of what the men find attractive. Because at the end of the day, you're not trying to be pretty for the girls to be attracted to you, unless you're going both ways, which there's no problem with that, right? At the end of the day, most of you guys that are in here are trying to attract men, which is fine, But then you also have to be honest with yourself about what men find attractive. You can't say that you want to attract men and then be upset about what men find attractive. It's no, you shouldn't find that attractive. No, that's wrong for you to find attractive. No, that's misogyny if you find that attractive. Okay, so then don't be with a man. Be with your cats. Be with your dog. Be with your girlfriends. Get married to your girlfriends. If you don't like what the men find attractive in women or in you, go be with someone else. If you want to attract the men, you're going to have to accept what they find attractive, work with their nature rather than against it. And then when you are attracting all these men and they all desire you and they're all bowing down at your feet because of how much they want you, you get to tell them what to do in order to get access to you. And you're in control anyways. That's why I always tell you guys, like, and Teresa says it's beyond looks. It's way beyond looks. It's not. And I talked about this yesterday. So I said, you guys got to watch me every day. I talked about this yesterday where in creating desire, it's minimal. It's minimal about looks. I'm only giving you guys examples that have to do with looks simply because they're the easiest to digest, but because I don't want to go too deep into this. But yesterday we talked about this and it is minimal about looks. It is less about looks than it is about your energy, than it is about your mindset, than it is about your approach, than it is about your aura, all that good stuff, which we talked about yesterday. Okay? But what I'm saying is that you have to acknowledge first what they find attractive. And I'm not just talking about physical, I'm talking about mental, spiritual, all that good stuff. You should accept that and then figure out how you can lean into that. Because when you are desired by all these men so much, you get to have all the control to get whatever you want from them, which means you can get loyalty, which means you can get consistency, which means you can get a guy buying you presents and taking you on all these trips. You do realize that there are girls out there that the men buy them all sorts of gifts, take them on all sorts of trips, spend all sorts of money on them, crawl on their hands and feet for them. Those women do exist, and they're just women. They're just human beings. So that should actually be exciting for you because you're also a human being, which means that if they can do it, you can also learn to do it as well. Because those women get whatever they want from men. Those women don't have to chase around men. They tell men what they expect from them, and the men capitulate, which just means like they agree. Right? Someone said, Uganda said, too bad I missed yesterday. If you missed one of my live streams, you can go on my YouTube channel. And if you go to the live section on my YouTube channel, you can watch the live stream there. So yesterday's live stream, which I'm referring to, is available on my YouTube channel for you to watch in its entirety. And I highly recommend that you watch that if you have missed it. Okay? Very important. Are you guys following me so far? I know I went on a bit on a tangent, but it's so important. This type of stuff is so important because like all this stuff where people are, oh, I don't want to play games. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Well, then you don't want to work for a good relationship. You don't want to have a man who really desires you and is interested in you. Then you're going to sit back and you're going to keep on wondering why you seem to get the short end of the stick. Meanwhile, the same guys that you like and beg for their attention, they go out and they chase after all these other women. While you sit aside like, I can't even get 1/10 of the attention that you give to all these other girls. And you feel like you're less than because the man that you want is chasing after all the other women and you can't figure out how to get him to see you or care about you. And I'm telling you how to do that because you can do that. And it's not just all about your looks. Now, you're going to have to put some effort into your looks. I'm not saying that you can be gross and not take care of yourself and expect that guy should just be interested in you. They're like, let's be for real. Okay? You're going to have to put in some work into yourself, which includes the physical. But it's not like, oh, the things you can't control, like your face shape or your head size. Maybe some of y'all have some big A bobbleheads. Okay. that type of stuff is really irrelevant as it relates to attracting guys, right? Like, you don't have to be a supermodel to be attractive to guys. Anyways, number 1 was do not respond to his calls or texts or reach outs. Okay. Number 2 was let him watch. Number 3 was do not watch him. Okay. Don't watch his story. Don't watch his timeline. Don't look at anything he's doing. Number 4, and this is going to sound like I'm dissing you. I'm not dissing you. Okay. I'm just giving you the advice. If you want the advice, if you don't want it, don't take it. Number 4 is find a hobby or passion. Okay. This is not a diss. Okay. Find a hobby or passion. This is actually really important though, in all seriousness, right? Because in the process of this, I'm assuming you guys have broken up, which is why you want him to regret losing you. In the process of this, you do not want to find yourself in a situation where your life has only been this relationship, and now that this relationship is over, you don't have anything going for you. You don't have anything that you care about. You don't even have anything that your brain power is put towards outside of that relationship. And now that it's over, now all you can do is think about how the relationship is over. That is not good. First of all, it's not healthy because you're in a lot of pain all the time. Second of all, it's not good because that will easily put you in a position where you're likely to reach out to him or respond to his next text or call, because the pain will just continue stacking and stacking and stacking to the point where you can't take it anymore. Right? And you don't want that, because it defeats the whole purpose of what we're trying to accomplish here in how to get him to regret losing you. If you're in so much pain that you respond to his texts and his calls and you, oh, I miss you too. Oh, I want to be with you too. There's no purpose anymore to what we're doing here. Right? And you don't want that. Okay. So it's very important to find a hobby or passion so that you can have something that your energy is being put towards, other than sitting around reminiscing on the relationship. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to think about a relationship or to think about the good times that you had with someone, but there's a difference between like understanding that you had a relationship with someone, it ran its course, it didn't work out for a reason, and now you're in a better place because of that, because you learned some things and you grew, and now you can take those lessons into a new relationship that will hopefully be the one you spend the rest of your life in. Right? There's nothing wrong with thinking like that, but there's a difference between that and sitting on your bed crying all day, just being sad and not getting out of bed or doing anything, and just sitting scrolling through pictures, scrolling through Snapchat memories, watching his story, waiting for him to post so you can see what he's up to. That is not healthy. It's also very painful. That's like torture. It's like unnecessarily painful, because a breakup doesn't have to be that intense and that difficult, right? There's nothing wrong with being sad, but the breakup doesn't have to be intense to the point where you're bawling your eyes out all day, every day, just scrolling through pictures and memories and reminiscing crazy, looking at things that you wouldn't have even been looking at if you were in the relationship right now. Because like sometimes that's what some of you guys are doing. You're purposely triggering yourself and torturing yourself as if you want to be in pain, right? Like, don't purposely trigger yourself and put yourself in pain, because most of the time you wouldn't be sitting on your couch or your bed scrolling through the Snapchat memories and scrolling through everything that you guys have been through, right? All the videos and pictures. You wouldn't be sitting around scrolling through all that and watching that if you guys were in a good place in your relationship. You wouldn't be reminiscing. So why are you doing that now that you've broken up? It's pointless, because all it's doing is serving you more pain. And the more pain you're in, the worse your life is. And the harder it is for you to do step one, which was do not respond to his calls or texts, right? Or do any of this in general. Because you'll just be tempted to be like, no, I just want to go back to him. No, I just want to be with him again. No, I just miss him so much. You don't really miss him so much. You're in so much pain that you want to go back to him to stop being in so much pain. And the crazy part about it is you're sitting on your couch or your bed, scrolling through these memories, being sad. But the moment you were to get back with him, you wouldn't still be on your bed scrolling through these memories. That's why I say, like, you can actually be self-sabotaging by putting yourself in pain on purpose. That's why it's so important to have a hobby or a passion that you can put your mind towards so that you don't fall into the trap of spiraling down a rabbit hole where you're just every day, you're just, what is he doing? Oh my God, did he post something? You're just refreshing all day, all like a maniac, all day refreshing. What did he do? You're going through from his Instagram, you go to his WhatsApp, from the WhatsApp, you go to the Snapchat, from the Snapchat, you go to the Snapchat memories, then you go to all your pictures and videos on your phone, then you go back to his Instagram to check to see if it is insane. Not to mention that energy you're carrying around with you. So if you ever were to see him out, right, in public, at the grocery store, at a party, at a gathering, whatever it may be, oh, trust me, all of that energy, right? All of that, oh, I miss you. I can't still, I'm in so much pain without you. Oh, I can't believe my life is nothing without you. I don't have anything to do except for miss you and care about. All of that energy is projecting outwardly. So whether or not, and the crazy part about it, when that energy is so strong, you won't be able to control it. And trust you me, he'll feel it. And like I said before, it just becomes an ego boost when he sees how extremely bothered you are about the situation. And when he sees how much you're in pain because he broke up with you, when he's like, yeah, I miss you, but damn, I'm not like you. Like you're melting. Right? That's an ego boost for him. And he's never going to regret missing you that way. Right? I guarantee you, all he's going to think to himself is, damn, I have so much control over her. I could probably stop talking to her and disappear and then come back in like a month or so, apologize, and everything will be all good because I have so much control. She has nothing going for herself. I'm telling you the truth. Okay? So that's why it's so important to find a hobby or a passion so that you can do the other three things correctly, right? You need to have some sort of thing that you're focusing on and actually genuinely care about outside of just the relationship. This is why I always talk to you guys. If you guys want your perfect relationship, one of the first steps is working on yourself and figuring out what you care about outside of just being someone's girlfriend or wife. That's why I say that that's so important. It doesn't even have to be like, oh, I want to solve world hunger. It can just be like, yo, I like painting. I really enjoy painting. Or I like writing. I really enjoy writing. I like writing short stories or whatever it may be. Find an interest. Find something that you care about genuinely, that you enjoy genuinely as an individual. Not I only enjoy it with if I have someone to do it with, or I only enjoy it with a partner. That's not caring about it. Okay, you just want company. Okay, so important to find a hobby or a passion. And I've talked about that to you guys before about figuring out the questions you can ask yourself and the things that you can do to figure out what you're passionate about. I even talked about it yesterday. Just go out and start trying things. If you don't know what you're passionate about, go places that you've never been. You live in a great, easy society where all the knowledge is at your fingertips. Each and every one of you, because there's a bunch of you guys watching me on TikTok, obviously right now, and then obviously you guys on YouTube as well. Each and every one of you have the ability to go on TikTok right now. If you're telling me I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, I don't know where to hang out, I don't know what my passions is or what I like doing, you can go on YouTube. You can go on TikTok and type in things to do in my city. That's how easy your life is. Whatever your city is, things to do in Toronto, things to do in New York, things to do in Miami, things to do in Manchester, UK, things to do in Paris, things to do in London. Okay, things to do in Nigeria. I know I have some viewers in Nigeria or South Africa, wherever you're at. Right? Simple. You type it in on TikTok, and TikTok there's literally content creators that will show you all these different places and things that you can do in your city. And a lot of them, you'll be surprised. You'll be thinking, oh, I've been in my city for years. I know everything in my city. I know everything that's going on. You actually don't. And you'll be surprised how many things there are to do in your city. Even if you live in a suburb or you live on the outskirts of a big city, you'll be surprised how many things there are to do in a city that you never even realized were possible to do. Okay? You'll be shocked. And all of those things are things that you can do by yourself or with a girlfriend or with a group of friends that are interesting and fun and will allow you to have your focus on something else other than just, I miss him. Because like I said before, there's no way that he's going to regret losing you if your entire energy and mindset and thought focus power is, I miss him. I want to be with him. I want to get back with him. Because what are you going to do? You're going to respond to his texts. You're going to respond to his calls. And if you see him out in public, you're going to melt like ice cream on a hot Sunday afternoon. Okay? And we don't want that for you in this scenario. If we're trying to accomplish what we say we're trying to accomplish, okay? We want to actually get you to walk away from the situation for good, but also leave him with that taste in his mouth where he's like, damn, maybe I made a mistake. Okay. Nadia said, what if he texts you again? I answered that earlier. You don't text him back. It's guys. I give you guys instructions that are so simple. It's harder to not follow them. Very simple. If you want him to text you back, you do not respond to anything. Not a text. Not if he sends you an Instagram meme. Not a Snapchat. I know some of you. Okay. I don't want to go on a whole rant about this, but I need to address this, okay? I don't know how many of you guys do this, but I do know that there's some of you guys who do this, especially the younger generation, okay? This whole concept where you don't actually speak to someone, but you Snapchat them consistently, even though you guys aren't having any real conversation, it needs to stop. It needs to end. It needs to end and end very quickly. And I'm specifically talking about in your relationships or situationships. Because some of you guys are doing this. This is why it's so funny when people be like, I don't want to play games, and they're playing a lot of games with their own selves. It is such a silly, pointless game when you're sitting around and someone who you're not really talking to anymore, you guys had a thing, but you guys aren't a thing anymore. You don't really ever see each other or communicate with each other, except you guys keep a Snapchat streak where you don't really ever even talk about anything. You just send each other blank screens and half faces and pointless pictures to continue this Snapchat streak for whatever reason. That is a cancer, and that needs to end immediately. I don't know how many of you guys still do that, right? And I know it's mostly the younger generation, and I have, a wide age gap of people that watch me, but I'll be the first one to tell you, if you do that, end that, stop that immediately. Stop that immediately. The reason I say that is because these are the type of things that you guys put yourself in a situation where you cannot properly detach yourself from someone. You cannot properly move forward from a situation because you're constantly trying to keep hold of these people in your life in a capacity that is really meaningless and has no substance. Someone said, haha, got me right there. Joke's on you. Cut the cameras. Right. And it's not to diss. I understand that this is the new age that we live in and all that good stuff, which is why I know about this, which is why I know that people do this. Right. But like, I really want to caution you against that, because like that is that you talk about playing games. That is you're playing yourself with that, because you will never imagine you have a thing with someone and now you guys, that thing is over and you're still Snapchatting them, but you're not with them. You're not really speaking to them. You don't know what's going on with their life. It's just kind of this weird, ghost dynamic where you're not in each other's life, but you keep some sort of really low quality communication. I think that that's even worse than being a ghost watcher on Instagram. You know, the ghost watchers where you sit around and you don't actually participate in their life or really even care that much about what they're doing. And there's people that will just sit around and they'll watch your stories, right? They'll see what you're doing. They don't ever call you. They don't ever reach out to you. They don't ever try to hang out with you, right? They're not really your friends, to be honest, but they just watch what you're doing. And vice versa. You have people that you're not really friends with. You just kind of see them post stories, but you would never be bothered to actually keep up with them or see what they're up to, right? I think that the Snapchat streak thing is even worse than that. Okay, even worse than that. Cut that immediately. That type of stuff will never allow you to move forward in any sort of positive direction. There is, guys, there is, I don't want to diss a whole application because I know some of you guys love Snapchat. But in all reality, there is no type of serious conversation that you're ever going to have on Snapchat. There is no type of life-changing conversation that will actually benefit you in your life or in your relationship or in your connection with someone that's going to happen on Snapchat. I'm just going to be the one to tell you for real. Just going to be the one to tell you for real. So if you're doing that, it's purely for entertainment, in which case you need to ask yourself, why am I just wasting my life trying to be entertained with no purpose? You can entertain yourself by running yourself a bath. You can entertain yourself by watching a nice movie or reading a good book. You can entertain yourself by going to an art class where you'll actually meet a nice guy that respects you. You can entertain yourself by going to a dance class. You can entertain yourself by hanging out with your real friends in your real life. Like, there's so many things you can do aside from keeping pointless Snapchat streaks. And like I said, I don't want to diss a whole application because I know some of you guys love that app, but I just want to be the one to like, I think honestly, Snapchat is sabotaging some of your relationships. I'll be so for real. And I know because some of you guys will be asking me, oh, well, you say I shouldn't respond to his text or his calls, right? But if he Snapchats me, it's just a Snapchat streak, right? So it's not that serious. I literally had someone tell me that she doesn't talk to a guy. They don't text, they don't call, they don't communicate, but they just keep a Snapchat streak. And I asked her why. She just said, no, it's just because we just do that. We don't really talk about anything. We just keep the Snapchat streak going. And then she was asking me, how come he'll keep the Snapchat streak with me, but he won't talk to me? Why are you even wasting your time? Why are you wasting your time, the valuable time you have on this earth and your life force away, Snapchatting someone that you don't even speak to? I don't want to get so upset about this, but that type of stuff grinds my gears. And you guys people have the audacity to talk about someone else is wasting my time. He's wasting my time. Even the guy, she's wasting my time. You're wasting my time. Well, how could you waste my time? And you're keeping Snapchat streaks with people that you don't speak to, you don't communicate with, you have no relationship with. And it's other people wasting your time. The stuff just grinds my gears. I don't get it. Anyways, let me get off of that because I'll be here all day. Now, number 4. So number 1, we had do not respond to calls or texts. Number 2 was let him watch. Number 3 was do not watch him. Number 4 was find a hobby or a passion so that you can have something that your energy is directed towards outside of just, I miss you, I care, I want to be with you. Okay. Madison, hi in the YouTube chat. How are you doing? Okay. Welcome back. Number 5, improve your quality of life. Okay. This kind of ties in everything we've been talking about. Okay. Improve your quality of life. Very important. The reason you want to improve your quality of life is because I don't care if you don't post on social media. I don't care if you're not a big, putting yourself out there type of girl. Doesn't matter. When you improve your quality of life, right, you're telling him, whether or not he's seeing it or not, and you're telling yourself subconsciously that you're actually better off without him in your life, which is a good thing, right? You want to be in a place where you feel like you have a better life without him in it. Because at the end of the day, if he's lost you, you're not coming back. So there's no point of you sitting around being like, oh, I'm sad, I want to be with you. Oh, it's so sad that we're not together anymore. Oh, all the great memories that we had. That doesn't serve you in any way. Because if you're not going to be in the relationship again, yeah, cool. It's sad that you're not in the relationship anymore. But at the end of the day, you have to move forward. You have to. You can't just be stuck and paralyzed by the sadness and you don't do anything. So are you going to tell me you're going to spend your entire life missing and being sad about your ex so that you don't find your husband? Let me know in the chat. Is that what you want to do? You want to sit around being sad about your ex to the point where you don't ever get a chance to find your husband? Or find the guy that will love you? Or find that amazing relationship that is literally sitting around waiting for you, but you're too busy being sad about, oh, my ex, he won't call me or text me. I can't believe he did that to me. No. You get up, you dust yourself off, you say, damn, you know what? Yeah, that hurt my feelings. That hurt a little bit. At the end of the day, I'm still alive. Okay. I'm still breathing. I'm still of great health. All right. I will move forward one step at a time and I will have the life that I want. I'll also have the relationship that I want. If he wants to treat me like that, cool. Not a reflection of me. I'll take that as a lesson. I'll learn from it. I'll grow from it, keyword grow, get better, improve. I'll take those lessons into my life and not make those same mistakes again. Okay? Madison said it's so hard to be cold. You don't have to be cold. And like I say, guys, getting a guy to regret missing you, all the stuff that I'm talking to you guys about, it's not about not feeling things. It's not about not caring about him. It's not about not caring about the relationship. You can acknowledge, it's balance. You can acknowledge that, yes, I've been with this person. Yes, we had a relationship. Yes, it lasted a time. And you can also acknowledge, yes, it didn't work out. Yes, there are reasons that the relationship didn't work out. Yes, we are not together anymore, and there's a good reason for that. So I'm going to take the lessons and the memories, right, that I have in that relationship. I'm going to utilize them so that in the future, I don't make the same mistakes, but also so I can get closer to having the things that I do want. Because there'll be certain aspects of your ex or the last person, their last talking stage, whatever, your old significant person, right, that you liked and enjoyed. So you can take that also as a lesson of what you do want in the future. And then the parts that you didn't like, you can take that as a lesson of what you don't want. And now you are better equipped to know how to maneuver around that and not attract that again, or not find yourself in a relationship like that again. So it's good on both sides. That relationship is over. And now that I've learned everything I needed to learn, and now that it actually fully is over, I can free myself of that so that I can find the relationship that is for me. That should be your outlook. It's not about being cold. It's not about not caring about people. It's not about any of that. But your mindset needs to be in the right place where you're ready to actually move forward. That's why this is about how to make him regret losing you, not how to make him miss you for a bit and then you come back. Okay? Because it doesn't work that way. It's how to make him regret losing you, as in you're gone, as in you're not coming back. Okay? That's why it's so important to improve your quality of life, because you also need to be convincing yourself that, hey, I'm okay without this guy in my life. I'm actually even better now without this guy in my life. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay, right? That's okay to feel like, yeah, I'm having a great time. I'm actually happy and doing good and feeling good without this person in my life anymore. Because whether or not you see him again is irrelevant. Whether or not you see him out at a party or whatever is irrelevant. You don't even this last part is not even about whether or not he sees it. It's just for you to know that, hey, I'm improving. I'm getting better. I feel good. I'm happy where I'm at. Every day I grow stronger. I get better. I get more beautiful. I get more intelligent. I just get more everything. Right? And this is all happening outside of me being in a relationship with him. So like I said, when he does call you or text you again, right? Because when he begins to have that regret, he's going to call you and text you. You're not fazed by it where you're like, oh, I'm so sad about this relationship. Maybe I'll text him back and we'll get back together and we'll be. Because at the end of the day, you've just killed all the possibilities that he would have, all the possibilities of him regretting losing you, because he hasn't lost you. All he had to do was reach out to you and you're right back there. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys, what I'm saying, or is there any part that's been confusing, or any questions that you guys have as it relates to how to get a guy to regret losing you? Okay? I tried to be as straightforward as I possibly can. You guys were asking, like I said, it should be harder to not follow these things. It should be harder to not follow these things. That's why I don't give you guys any gray area where I say, oh, but respond to his Snapchats. Oh, but maybe if he texts you at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon, then maybe you should. No. Don't respond to anything. No. Don't acknowledge anything. No, don't speak to him. Don't Snapchat him. Don't like his messages. Don't like his Instagram DM meme. Don't do anything with him. Nothing. Okay. Nadia said, what if he comes back? Should I have boundaries? Well, like I said, you're trying to get him to regret losing you, not regret not being with you for a little bit and then coming back to you. Like, what's the point then? Someone says, why do we regret him losing us or not? It's not about, to be honest with you guys, I'm going to be so for real with you guys. This is a topic that I know you guys care about as women. It is not something I personally care about or think that is even necessary. But I have to do the job of, if you guys do want a guy to regret losing you, I can give you that answer in a way that will actually benefit you. Me personally, I don't give a damn who regrets losing me or not. I just focus on myself. I don't focus on what anyone else is doing. Okay? But I know for some of you guys that is important and you care about that, which is why I'm giving you that advice if you want to do it the right way as opposed to doing it the wrong way. Because like I say, I pay attention to everything that you guys care about and want me to talk about. And I know that my perspective is not always going to be the same as your perspective. So if a lot of you guys are thinking about, I want him to regret losing me, I'm going to address that, even if I don't personally care about that or think about that. Okay. Right. Will he regret? Sorry, let me read that again. I want to read that again. Someone said, will he regret losing me if I begged him too many times? No. The simple answer to that is no. It's impossible. How can he regret losing you when he knows that he hasn't lost you? If you're begging him, there is no like, this is what I want you guys to understand. Like, I say a particular way because the words have meaning. Regret losing you does not mean that you come back. It does not mean that you beg for his attention and his love. No, that there's no loss there. There's no loss there. It's best to let death rest in peace, even though it's difficult. even though it's difficult. Sorry, I missed what you said. But so it's like I say, guys, I'm teaching you how to get him to regret losing you, but I'm also trying to help you actually move forward, right? That's the key element, because I know you guys care about this, but I don't want to make it some sort of like, I don't want to advise you to turn it into some sort of toxic back and forth. I actually want you to be able to move forward with your life, which is why I'm telling you it like this. Okay? Which is why I'm telling you it like this. Nadia said, what does space mean to men? It can mean different things to different people, depending on why the space is occurring. That's not a straightforward answer, right? How do we move forward without hate in our heart? Follow these steps. Follow these steps. Because you'll be surprised. Even on the opposite side, because we're talking about how to make him regret losing you, you can also sabotage yourself into regretting someone so much. Megan said, what are the steps? You're going to have to rewatch this live on my YouTube channel because I already went through all 5. Okay. Even in the sense of for yourself in regretting losing someone, you can be sabotaging yourself by continuously feeding the monster. Okay. And this is like, this will be a bonus tip for you guys who are staying with me this long and listen to all 5 of the tips. Okay. You can feed the monster. And if you do feed the monster will grow bigger and it will become even harder to stop. So what I mean by feeding the monster is when you break up with someone and you have that temptation to, oh, I want to see what they're doing, or oh, I want to check up on them, or oh, I want to be all in their business, or you just get the craving to kind of like, I'm gonna watch these videos, reminisce on these memories. I'm gonna check to see if they snap me. I'm gonna check to see if they post on Snapchat, if they post on their WhatsApp status, they post on Instagram DM. I'm gonna watch all their stories, once you begin to feed that monster of like going and checking up on them and reminiscing and seeing what they're doing all the time, all day, every day, the monster grows bigger and it becomes a vicious cycle where you literally cannot get out of the hole of just the regret and the pain of not being in that relationship anymore. And you just keep spiraling and keep spiraling and keep spiraling. And the more you feed it, the harder it is to crawl out of that hole, which is why the best way to go about it, if you really want to move forward, is to stop thinking about it, but also make it easy for yourself to stop thinking about it. Don't check up on what he's doing. Don't watch what he's doing. Don't care about what he's doing. Don't put any attention or energy into what he's doing. Don't respond to his messages. Right? Focus on what you care about, what you're passionate about, what your hobby is, improve your quality of life. And over time, the monster will shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink to the point where you genuinely don't actually care or think about him anymore, which is good. If you really want him to regret losing you and you really want to be gone, you shouldn't be thinking about him anymore either. Eventually, obviously. I'm not saying you shouldn't have emotions, but eventually. Right? But you can't continuously feed that monster and then expect that one day magically you'll be over the situation. That's not how it works. If you keep feeding that monster, you keep texting him back, you keep calling him every day, you keep responding to his messages, you keep focusing all your time and attention and energy on him, even though you're not in the relationship anymore, and even though it's over, you're never going to be able to get out of that hole. You're never going to be able to get out of that hole. Okay. Samson said, but he doesn't text. Good. He's making it easy on you. This is for the people that are getting it made hard on them because they're having to deal with the guy coming back and texting and calling a whole bunch. If he's not texting you or calling you, even better. Because now you know, first of all, now you know the relationship wasn't worth anything, and you know he doesn't even care enough to show his regret to you. That's how little he thinks of you. So even better for you. Now your life is even easier for you to move forward. Don't spend your time, guys, don't spend your entire life thinking about someone who's not thinking about you. It's a waste of a life. I don't want to be rude or be mean, but it is truly a waste of a life. You have and some of you guys are in like your 20s. Like, I say some of you guys are in your 20s. I'm in my 20s too. Okay, just keep it a secret, right? But you have such a beautiful life to live. There is so much possibility at your fingertips. Assuming most of you guys who are watching me have access to Wi-Fi and a phone and a roof over your head, you have so much at your fingertips, so much access, so much resources. You can live such a beautiful life, right? Don't sit around thinking about a guy who's not thinking about you. Norma says I text him and he texts me back. I'm a textaholic. Go out and live. Go out and live. And I know some of you guys are like that too. Some of you guys are textaholics, right? And for some of you, I know for some of you, the majority of your relationship is over text with a guy, or majority of your communication with the guy is over text. Let me give you some news flash. You ain't building no damn connection with someone over that text. You can call someone and build a connection with them. You can FaceTime with someone and build a connection with them. Somewhat. But all this textaholic stuff, it's the same thing I talked about with the Snapchat stuff. All this textaholic stuff, this pointless Snapchatting, you ain't really talking about nothing. You ain't really talking about nothing except saying, hey, how are you? How was your day? Oh, I'm fine. My day was good. My day was bad. My day was this. All the time. You ain't building no damn connection. And you want to know how I know you ain't building no damn connection? Because majority of us, and I've experienced it too, you text someone, and in your mind you think, oh, they're like this, their personality's probably like this. And then when you meet them in real life, you realize that the feeling is not the same as when you were texting them. You want to know why? Because texting them is not knowing them. And you're never going to get a real sense of the person's personality and who they are by texting them. And so what happens is when you finally meet them, you realize there's no real connection there, right? You don't really know who they are. And in some cases, you're actually turned off by them because what you imagine them to be is the opposite of what they actually are. And you realize you can no longer project a personality onto them. You actually just have to accept who they really are. Fit Mom says, I text when I'm bored. Okay, now you know what you should solve, your boredom. This is why I always talk to you guys about your passion, your hobbies, what you care about. Because a lot of you guys are only in a relationship even because you're bored. A lot of you guys are only entertaining or talking to these guys, specific types of guys, because you're bored. And then you wonder why they don't go anywhere. They don't work out. Because the whole basis and foundation of you even talking to them in the first place is straight out of boredom. You got to go out and do something with your life. I hate to say it and just make it sound so mean. You got to go out and do something with your life. Because that boredom is the easiest road down self-sabotage. You're just sitting around, you're bored, you're texting someone. And you're just sitting around, you're bored, and, having this low quality communication, it's pointless. It's pointless. I'm not saying, texting is the devil, and if you text someone, then what I'm saying is that if you spend all your time just texting people, you're a textaholic, like someone said, right? You're not actually building connections with those people. So if the texting isn't focused on actually trying to meet up in person and build a real connection, then you're wasting your time. There's just no point. There's just absolutely no point. Even if you say you're bored, go find some entertainment. Go find a hobby. Go find a passion so you're not bored. You know what's crazy? You become way less of a textaholic when you're busy and you have something to do. You want to know why? Because whatever you're actually doing, whatever you're actually invested in, takes priority over texting. That should tell you you don't really care about texting that much. You're just bored. So get on board, and texting won't be such a big deal to you. I always advise you guys, and maybe we'll talk about this on Monday because I know this is a big deal. I always advise you guys to use texting as a tool to see someone more or make it easier to schedule meetups and hangouts. That's what I advise you to do. Or conversations, right? Use texting as a tool to be, oh, what's your schedule? Okay, yeah, my schedule is this, da, da, da. Okay, so can we get on a phone call tonight? Can we get on a phone call tomorrow? Okay, let's talk on the phone this day if you're in a long distance relationship or maybe you can't hang out. Or if you guys can see each other, okay, text. Okay, what's your schedule for this week? Okay, we'll hang out this day. Okay, I'm busy this day. Oh, da, 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 right? Organize schedules so that you can have more in-person meetings, right? And actually build a real connection. Use it as a tool. Don't, because this is the thing too. I don't want to see, I'm really passionate about this. So I don't want to go on a tangent here because I want this to be a whole topic, but you are actually demotivating guys from wanting to put the effort into taking you out on a date when you're constantly in this low quality form of communication with them, because they also feel like, oh yeah, I guess I'm communicating with her, so I don't really have to see her, right? He can't really miss you where he's like, oh, I really want to see you, because he kind of feels like he's still talking to you, even though he's not really talking to you. It's just kind of Snapchat streaks and silly messages here and there. But because he doesn't feel like he's actually not talking to you, he doesn't really have any room to miss you. And so he never actually has the motivation or inspiration to be like, I want to see you. I want to take you out on a date. I want us to go here. I want us to do something. I want us to get on a phone call. I want us to get on whatever it may be, right? Because this constant wave of low quality communication is happening all throughout the day. And then you guys are the ones wondering, why doesn't he want to take me out on a date? Why are you texting him and Snapchatting him all day? Because how can he ever be like, I actually want to go and see her in person? Because this is why I'm saying it, because the guys also fall into the trap of it as well. And it only ends up hurting you. The guys fall into the trap of it as well, feeling like they're actually talking to you by texting you and Snapchatting you. They're not actually talking to you or getting to know you. And there's no real connection being built there. But you're the one that suffers when there's no real connection, because if he doesn't feel there's no real connection, then there's probably no real commitment. And if you guys are doing stuff, if you're giving away your Squirtle and there's no real connection and no real commitment, guess who loses? You do. Okay? So you want to ensure that there is a real connection there and you guys are having high quality forms of conversation, right? And you want to keep the low quality forms of conversation to an absolute minimum, just because they don't serve you. They for what your goal is, assuming that your goal is a long-term serious relationship, for what your goal is, and to get a guy interested in you and want to chase after you. Because like I said, the guys can't do exactly what you do because the guy's goal is different. You want them to be doing the chasing. So you have to have the ability and you have to put yourself in a position where you can actually sit back and chill and relax and be yourself and inspire him and motivate him to want to come after you. You understand what I'm saying? But there's a very particular way you have to go about that and set yourself up for success in that. Right? Nova says, just popped up on my live celebrity holy. What's up, Nova? Everyone say what's up to Nova in the chat. He's a guy. Shocking. Okay. Right? Does that make sense, guys? I don't want to go too much on a tangent on that because I want that to be a whole topic. Right? I want that to be a whole topic, and I definitely want to address that in its fullness. Okay. But as it relates to how to make him regret losing you, Are you guys understanding of what I mean? Do you guys have any more questions? Okay. Someone said these men have bare minimum conversations. They find what? I mean, yeah. And like I said, it only ends up hurting you. Lorato says, what advice will you give me as I never dated in my 20s? My advice to you would be to watch every single one of my videos and go on my YouTube and watch every single one of my live streams, truly and honestly, because there's so much you should learn and understand that it's very important. I couldn't tell you all in one sitting. Someone said I need you to come to my next date and sit beside us. That would be funny. Maybe I'll do some undercover stuff as like some sort of episode. That'd be really funny. Right? Okay. Michelle says, when will you be doing a topic about how to get a guy to chase and position yourself for success? I kind of did that yesterday. Yesterday was about creating desire, which is kind of the same thing as getting a guy to chase you, right? Because if you're creating a lot of desire, then you're getting him to chase you. Bare minimum convo because you're giving bare status, know your worth. Yeah, you don't want bare minimum conversation. Madison, what was your question in the YouTube chat? I didn't get it. It retracted your question. Enlighten A. Oh, I didn't see your message. Enlighten A in the YouTube chat said, I know I was late. I in the hospital, but I still watched your live last night from yesterday. It was great as usual. Everyone say get better, Nay, in the chat. Everyone say get better, Nay, so that hopefully she feels better now. Okay. Right. You guys don't want on Monday we'll talk about more in depth about low quality conversation. Okay? So that you guys can get a better understanding of that, and I can answer every single possible scenario that you have, and we can touch on all of that. Okay? Okay? Right? So important. So we had number 1 was do not respond to his texts or calls. Number 2, let him watch. Number 3, do not watch him. Number 4, find a hobby or passion. Number 5, improve quality of life. Okay. Now today is Friday, so obviously I'm not going to be here on Monday. I will give you guys, a couple minutes here. You guys can ask me a plethora of different types of questions. I'm not going to answer every single question. Okay. And I'll answer some of them just because it's Friday, and obviously I won't be here tomorrow. Okay, so you take this opportunity and ask me anything that your heart desires. I'm not going to answer every single question. I'm going to choose which ones I answer. And we can have a mini conversation about that before I head out, okay? You can ask me anything, okay? Should a woman give a guy her number? I mean, there's nothing particularly wrong with that. If a guy asks you for your number, then yeah, like go ahead, give it, right? Madison in the YouTube chat says, does telling their partner how they were just with me give better or petty vibes? Sorry, I'm trying to really understand. Does telling their partner how they were just with me? It's so crazy how he acts with her knowing I spent an entire week with him the week before. So are you saying that like you're like the side girl? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying. Like he has a girl and then you're spending time with him as like the side girl. Is that what you're saying? I would advise against that because you don't get anything out of that. I wouldn't even advise you to tell the partner, just stop wasting your own time. Because like, what are you going to get from that? Even if you tell the partner, are you hoping that you'll tell his partner and then he'll be with you? Pointless. Why would you want a guy who would make you the side piece? You said, LOL, no, he was telling me he wanted to be together. So he's telling you he wanted to be together while he still had another partner. Let me see here. Someone says, is it possible to work after space? Yeah, 100% possible. 100% possible. Now, it also depends on why you guys are having space from each other. Right? Evita says, what to do when a guy distances himself? Why is he distancing himself, though? You shouldn't be chasing after people who don't want you, right? Someone said, will this be out on YouTube because I missed a lot? Yes, it will be on my YouTube page 100%. You can literally, as soon as I end this live, it'll be available on my YouTube page on the live section. You won't have to wait for anything. So you can even actually, if you go on YouTube now, you'll be able to rewind it and watch it, even though I'm still live. There's so many men who chase and then ghost. Yeah, don't focus your time and energy on those men, right? Only focus your time and energy on the men who are going to treat you how you want to be treated. That girl says, what does it mean when he blinks twice at me? It could mean nothing, or it could mean that he's in love with you. It depends. It really depends on the scenario. Okay. Marcella says, why after a month that we broke up did he post a photo with my hickey? That's weird. That's weird behavior. That's really weird behavior. I couldn't tell you what went into the thought process of doing that. That's very strange behavior. Yeah, I couldn't tell you why he would do that. That's very weird. Sorry, that was like, caught me off guard. We have different class of men. So is female, but when one value themselves, they act it. Yeah, if you value yourself, people will treat you that same way. What does it mean when a guy distances himself talking about a relationship after going out? If he distances himself from you after talking about a relationship, then he wasn't really serious about the relationship. How do you know that a man is really in love with you? I'll talk about that actually. I'll talk about that. But the reason I usually don't go into too much of like, how to know if he's in love with you, how to know if he cares about you, is like, for the most part, you're going to feel that. Like, it's not really going to be something you'll question. Key word of advice, guys, newsflash. If you have to question if he loves you or cares about you, there's a good chance that something is off. Okay, because the feeling of being loved should be very clear and prominent to you. So if you don't feel that, or you're questioning that, it's probably because it's either not existing or you're confused. Do men care when we stand on business and walk away? Of course they care. That's the whole point of how to make them regret losing you. Right? Of course they care. You want them to care. Do men know they like a woman as soon as they see her? No. Well, they know that they like how she looks, but there's no way to know that they like her personality as soon as they see her. It's just impossible. You're only focused on her looks then. There's just no way around that. There's no such thing as love at first sight. To me, personally, simply because it doesn't, like, the logic doesn't make sense. I didn't know you until I met you. So if I didn't know you until I met you, then whatever I was in love with when I saw you was really about how you looked. If you were 400 pounds and ugly, I probably wouldn't have had the same love at first sight. I don't, like I said, I'm not saying that to be mean or be rude to anyone, but I don't see many guys saying that they fell in love at first sight with a girl who was 400 pounds and ugly. I just don't see that very often. Maybe that happens and I'm confused. Okay. He doesn't want to commit, but he wants you to have a kid for him. Are you trying to troll me or no? Like, is that a troll question, or are you trying to be for real? Like just be for real. Like, why would you even entertain that? What he says after 5 months of a relationship, that he's not ready for a relationship. You have to decide for yourself if that answer is acceptable or not, based on, because you can spend 5 months together every day. You can also spend 5 months hanging out once every 3 weeks. So that totally changes whether the 5 months would be appropriate for that scenario. And you have to be your own judge of that, whether that timeline is appropriate. How to find love as a single mom. The first step is believing that you are deserving and worthy of love, whether or not you're a single mom. If you have the mindset that because you're a single mom that you won't find love, you won't find love. Your mind is everything, because your mind will manifest your reality. Okay. So the first step is to actually believe that you can find love as a single mom. I'm so serious. How As soon as I find my perfect partner, Madison says on YouTube, as soon as I find my perfect partner, I'm going to make a TikTok with him and tag you, like, shout out to Tomisin for helping me meet my match. That'll be awesome. If any of you guys have success stories, that would be great that we can share some success stories, you know, on the podcast, on the show and stuff like that, because I would love to see, obviously in the span of me making content, for people to go from all the way from being single or breaking up with someone to being single and then finding a good relationship that actually works and is everything that they imagined it would be. That would be awesome, right? How can I know that no contact is working? It depends what you're trying to get from it, right? Are you trying to get back into a relationship? You'll know it's working if you get back into a relationship. Are you trying to just get him to be sad? If so, why do you just want him to be, like, what's the reason you just want him to be sad? Do you want him to be sad so that he'll treat you better? Because if he's not treating you right, then you're kind of wasting your time. Someone said I'm successfully single because I'm busy. That's good. That's good. Initially told me he was ready for a relationship, was consistent. After a month, said he wasn't. Ran. Good. After a 2-year relationship, how can we bring back the spice, the love we had at the beginning? That's a great question, actually. I would advise you to, oh my gosh, I forget the title of it. I would advise you, if you just watch the titles of my relation, there's another one where I talked about creating desire, but I talked about it in a sense of being in a relationship. You got to kind of scroll down on my YouTube page. And I talked about, you know, the same things that a marriage therapist would tell you. Not that I'm a marriage therapist, but it's the same concepts of, like, how you have to consistently do work to keep your partner interested in you and to be desirable to your partner. Kind of like what I talked about here, right? If you are acknowledging, like, let's be so for real, guys do care about looks, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like guys don't care about looks. So if you're letting yourself go, right? You're not taking care of yourself, and you're expecting that your man should still love you, your man should still desire you the same way he desired you when you were fit and had an amazing, amazing body, and you were taking good care of yourself. Like, let's be for real a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't want to diss, like, we all go through things, but let's be for real a little bit. If you're not willing to work on yourself and invest in yourself to be more desirable, and then you just expect your man to desire you because you exist, let's be for real. Okay. That girl says, do guys like weird girls? I mean, it depends on the guy. Some guys do. Some guys, you know, if they're not weird themselves, maybe it might be a turnoff. Mackenzie says, do you believe in advice? Your advice is universal. In some senses, yes. When I talk about manifestation, the spirituality of relationships, when I talk about attraction, a lot of times it's very similar, or it can just be flipped. When I talk about, you know, the marketing that you have of yourself, understanding your perspective and understanding other people's perspective of you, your aura, all that stuff applies both ways. There are some things, though, that are specific to just the way men approach women, because the approach is slightly different. Go listen to Shira Stevenson, girls, instead of listening to this guy. Oh, sorry. I want to see what you said. I want to see what you said. Go listen to Shira Stevenson instead of this guy. Guys want a Barbie. Be Ken then. What? Guys want a Barbie. Be Ken then. I have no problem with what Shira 7 talks about. She talks about some great stuff. She talks definitely a lot about how to get money out of guys and in the relationship, which is great. If you like Shira and the stuff that she talks about, then go listen to her. I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't listen to, or the advice you should or shouldn't take. If you listen to me and you feel like my advice has no value, perfectly fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings. If you feel like someone else's advice has way more value, you're not going to hurt my feelings either. I'm very comfortable just being me. If you vibe with what I'm saying, then you vibe with what I'm saying. If it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. It doesn't bother me either way. What is your take on emotional unavailability? Don't put your time and energy into people who are emotionally unavailable and expect that to change. It's just not. You're wasting your own time. Remember what I talked about? You're wasting your own time. Okay? He's doing the impossible. I'm already in love. I just hate this situation, well, then he's probably practicing a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. What does that mean? Consistent, but changed his stance on a relationship. That means he probably wasn't serious about what he said about the relationship, because he would show that. Okay. How do you fix emotional unavailability? You don't. You're not trying to change people or turn them into something they're not. You're only trying to understand and learn people. That goes for everyone. Okay. You should never be trying to change someone or turn them into something they're not. You should only be trying to understand and learn people, and then accept whether or not, if who they are works for you and what you want in a relationship, then be with that person. If it doesn't, don't focus your time and energy on that person. It's a very simple concept, but you first have to know what you want. Marcella in the YouTube chat says, why did he break up with me after just 1 month of being together when he asked me to date official after a 6-month situationship? Did he realize that he wasn't ready, or was just the chase at the end? I don't know your situation completely, but I would probably say that if he broke up with you just after 1 month of being together, he didn't go into the relationship knowing why he even wanted to be in the relationship, which is why I always advise you guys against being with the guy who will do things fast, because the world has been trying to convince you that if he knows what he wants, he'll know that he wants to marry you within a week. Well, no. The smart guys who can make good decisions and analyze information, who are mature, know that there's no possible way to know everything you need to know about someone that you'd be ready to make them the mother of your children and your life partner in 1 week. And that's a process. So the smart guys are going to take their time. They're not going to be inconsistent. They're just going to take their time with the process of being in the relationship. So usually the guys that don't do that and jump into things quick, they end up breaking up with you in a month. Okay. On a first date, what should girls' average demeanor be like? Like, should we be flirty, curious, fun? I would advise your demeanor to be, I want to know as much as I possibly can about you. And your attitude should be, I'm so interested in knowing about you that you're just the most interesting thing ever. Right? And I want to do everything I possibly can to know more about you and the person that you are. Because when you go into it with that mindset, you're going to get a lot of information out of him, which will help you learn and decipher whether or not he is the type of guy you want to be in a relationship with or not. It'll also, the more talking he does do, the more he'll slip up and the more you'll actually see through any facade that he's trying to give you. Okay? Is it still frozen, guys? For you guys on TikTok, some couple people said it froze. Okay? No self-control. Someone said he told me he's emotionally unavailable, but he won't leave me alone. Why does it matter then if he told you what he is? Well, why does it matter? Just you move on with your life. And he said we're in a relationship, but that if I wanted to go, I could. Then go. No discipline whatsoever. What are you referring to? That girl. Dating is so hard, man. It's not actually that hard, but I do want you to understand it does take effort. And if you want anything good in life, it's going to take effort. So the idea that you should get a great relationship just for simply existing and not have to put any work into it is ridiculous. And that is not a law of the universe. There is no law in the universe that says don't put any effort or concentration or energy into something and expect it to be perfect for you. That's not how the world works, okay? There's no genie out there. If you want to get something, you can, but you're going to have to put effort into it. So if you want to call that playing games, if you want to call that too much work, then don't put in work and sit on your couch and hope that one day your dream person's going to knock on your door and change your life. You'll be waiting until you're blue in the face though. CFAT says, is it an insult if a guy calls you simple for appreciating small things he does like coffee or flowers? Do I need to convey standards showing him I won't accept anything but money? See, me, I'm different than Shira. I'm not going to tell you that the only way you should be with the guy is if he spends a lot of money on you, because I don't always think that that's a good representation of how invested he is in you, although it is part of that. Like, I just don't think that if that's your only focus, that you still won't get played, because sometimes when girls are so focused on does he spend money, does he spend money, does he spend money, they end up getting played still just by guys who have more disposable income. So they'll go on a date with the guy who'll spend $200 on the date. Then they'll be like, oh, he must be really serious about me because he'll spend $200 on the date. They'll sleep with him on the first night, and then the guy will disappear and not speak to them again, and they'll wonder why their strategy didn't work when all the guy did was spend money on her, and she was convinced that everything was okay and that she should give away her Squirtle, and then now she's confused why he doesn't contact her. How to know it's the right person? I mean, that's a complicated question. I can't just hand you a magic pill and tell you, hey, like I said, your best bet is to listen to me every single day, all the time, watch everything I've ever posted about relationships, and you'll get a better understanding of if you're moving in the right direction or not. And my honest advice to you, if you want to know if he's the right person for you, you should start by writing down your wish list of what you want in a relationship, because I can't tell you what's right for you. You're the only one that can tell you what's right for you, but you have to know what's right for you. You understand? Shira says, don't sleep with him until you get a ring. Perfect. I would honestly advise that as well. Obviously, that's not necessarily quote unquote realistic for everyone in every situation. Okay. I'm not saying you have to do that and you can't be successful unless you do that. But I mean, the idea works, right? Because if you wait until marriage, then you know that he's truly committed to you. SA says, do you see my comments? Yeah, I do. Sorry, I'm just, reading everyone's comment. Sometimes I miss them because it goes up and then I can't see it anymore. Okay. What does it mean if he tells you he thought of you first thing in the morning when he had his morning coffee? I'm going to be honest with you. That just sounds like a line. I'm not saying that it's fake. I'm not saying that he doesn't mean it. I'm just saying it sounds like a line. Like, it sounds like a line that you feed someone to gas them up or to make them feel like, I'm so into you, like you're the most amazing thing ever. And guys do that sometimes for various reasons, right? CFAT in the YouTube chat says, so is being called simple an insult? I feel like men could assume he won't need to spend money on me to get. I wouldn't say the idea of being low maintenance is not an insult, right? But if he's saying that you're simple, you probably should ask, what do you mean by that? Because some guys might mean simple as in like, no, I like that you're not like these other girls who just wants me to spend money and da-da-da-da. But it also could mean that he doesn't think very highly of you. So you have to do some digging to figure out which one it is. Janice said, don't put too much emphasis on that. If you're talking about a guy spending money on you, I agree. If you put too much emphasis on how much money he spends on you, you'll just find yourself getting played by the guys who understand that if they spend a lot of money on you, you'll be easily manipulated, right? They'll just go from manipulating you with their words to manipulating you with their wallet, and then they'll still get what they want from you. You see how you still end up in a bad place. Like you still end up losing. That's why I say don't focus I always teach you guys to have balance in your life. So anything that I talk to you guys about, any experience that I share with you, any concept or idea, I always try to make sure that I tell you guys to balance it. It's not about doing any one thing in an extreme way, because you're always going to have side effects and bad things happen if you go to any one extreme in life. Okay. You need balance. Okay. Queen Serene says, miss you, baby. Glad to be back. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. I'm so glad you're back. Someone said, what's the benefits of focusing on your passions after a breakup? I kind of mentioned that earlier in the chat, right? If you're focusing on your passions after the breakup, right, you'll actually have something else to put your energy towards instead of just thinking about, I miss them so much. Oh my God, it's so sad for me that we're not together anymore. Because if you're in that mindset, First of all, if he does reach out to you, you're definitely going to go back, which is pointless. And then also you're putting yourself in a lot of unnecessary pain because if you sit around just thinking about how sad it is that you're not in the relationship anymore, then you're wasting your time. Someone says, give us signs of mature guys. That will be a whole topic one day. I'll save that for a whole topic. Okay, but I think you should, like, guys, I do want to, I love teaching you guys and talking to you guys about stuff, but like, I don't want you guys to use me as a crutch to not do your own thinking. Okay? Because sometimes I know that you guys feel like, oh, I have so much advice and so much knowledge. Like, I'm still just a regular human being. I make mistakes too. I can give you some advice. We'll have conversation. I'll learn from you. You'll learn from me. But I don't turn me into a crutch where you don't want to do any thinking for yourself. And it's just, if Tomisin says that it's true, then it's true. But if he doesn't say anything about it, then I don't know what to think. I don't know what to feel. I don't know how to go about life. I can't do anything. I need Tomisin to spoon feed me everything. If he doesn't dress me in the morning, I won't be able to get dressed. I'll go outside and I won't know what to do. Like, come on, like, be for real. Okay. Like, be for real. I know that some of you guys are like, oh, I'm very insightful and stuff like that, but I'm trying to teach you how to fish, and I want to empower you so that you can go out into your life and actually make good decisions. I don't just want to become a crutch that the only way you know how to do your life is by asking me. And if I don't respond, right, then you're lost. Okay. Like, that's insane. That is insane. I don't want that for you. I want you to be able, right, in the process of us having these conversations, to learn some things, be able to think for yourself, right? And then go out and actually be able to implement the things that we talk about, right? And live a better life. I don't just want me to be like your dad, and if I don't say that you should do it, then you don't know what to do and you're just frozen in place. Like, that's insane. There's no way I can live your life for you. Like, there has to be some sort of independence that you have. and I'm telling you this, like, that's me telling you this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to just use me as a crutch where you don't know how to make any decision without me telling you exactly what to do, right? This is why it's so important that you listen with your brain, right? And not just your ears. What I mean by that is, not everything I say is going to directly apply perfectly to you and your situation that you're in right now at this moment. So what you need to do is listening with your brain and extract the truth or the concept or the idea from what I'm saying, and do the work of figuring out how you can apply that concept or truth or idea in your own life in a way that works for you, right? You're going to have to do that process. It can't always be me telling you, this is exactly how you should think. This is exactly how you should feel. Because then what happens if I'm not there to be with you on the date? Now you're lost. And all the listening that you did with me, all the videos that you watched with me and of me talking is useless to you. Okay? Do you think men can change or at a certain age they can't? I think over time men mature and the things that they want and desire change the same way it does for women as well. So yes, I think over time people can mature and their values and morals and the way they go about life changes. What triggers a man to regret losing someone he dated, no contact situation, but notice a glow up? You should rewatch the entire live, because I literally talked about all the things that would trigger a man to regret losing you. All that really literally just talked about them. Why does he watch my stories and starts posting a lot after initiating no contact? I have a question for you. Are you trying to get back with him? Because if you're not, why are you paying so much attention to what he's doing or not doing? Guys, if you're not trying to be in a relationship with someone, or you're not in a relationship with someone, stop wasting your own time by putting all of your focus and attention with someone you're not growing a relationship with. It is literally pointless. Literally pointless. Okay? These situationships that you have, or these weird talking, not talking stages that you have where you're just going back and forth and not really ever building anything serious, stop wasting your own time, because you're wasting your own time. It's not him wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Okay. So I say that to say, if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, it's no contact, but why is he watching my stories and why is he, are you planning on getting back in a relationship? If not, stop wasting your thought power on what he's doing or not doing. If you are, then fine, worry about what he's, but if there's no plan to be in a relationship or you're not sure where this is going, stop wasting your time. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. How do you know you're building a relationship? Guys, Nadia, I love you. You're awesome. Okay. You've been participating. But guys, this is what I'm talking about with the crutch stuff. You should know if you're building a serious relationship with someone. If you're not sure, then you're probably not building a serious relationship with someone. Okay. Like, let's be for real here. Okay. Like, there's going to be commitment. There's going to be consistency. Assuming you've been in any sort of relationship before, you should know what building a relationship feels and looks like. Okay. Don't use me as a crutch where you don't feel like you can do anything unless I tell you how to do it. Okay. What does it mean if he says I'm attracted to you, but don't catch feelings, and we can be what? If I didn't even have to read. I already know what that was probably going to say. What does it mean if he says he's attracted to you, but don't catch feelings? That means he just wants to be friends with benefits. Very simple. And that means he just wants to use your Squirtle and then throw it away when he's finished using you. Very simple. Very simple. Very, very simple. But he made me feel like he really liked me on the date. What do you mean? So like it didn't work out, but he made you feel like he really liked it. Guys are good at playing that game. You have to understand it's a learned behavior that guys develop over time, where they realize if I say certain things or act in a particular way that's in line with what a girl wants, I can extract from her what I want, which is in between your legs most of the time. Taco says, what does he mean when he breathes? It means that he's probably a man. If you're saying he. Well, maybe not. I don't know. In 2024, he could be a. Anyways, can I meet you someday? Maybe. Yeah, for sure. One day we might. We'll do an in-person thing. Let me know. What would you guys rather do? Would you guys rather do something that is like a live version of the show where you guys are like in the audience? Or would you rather do something that's like a meet and greet type of thing where you guys just come and like meet me? And I don't know what else we would do, to be honest. Just sit around and chat and have like group therapy or something. I don't know. Right. Which one would be better? Live in the audience? See, some of you guys are saying meet and greet. SH says online meet and greet. That's not really like, I mean, like if you were talking about seeing me in person, obviously it has to be in person, right? Meet and greet, but private, not live. Yeah. So if it's a meet and greet, then it would obviously be like a private meet and greet. Like if it was a live show, then it would be like I would stream the show like regular, so you would still see me here, but then it would be like in front of a live audience of you guys, kind of like a late night show, right? That would be interesting. When will I come to Europe? I honestly, before I came to Europe, I'd have to have a dedicated audience of enough people to actually go to Europe. You know what I mean? To make that trip worthwhile. Meet and greet in Africa, that would be, for sure. That would be possible. I'm Nigerian, so I definitely would want to go back to Nigeria, maybe do a meet and greet there, right? That girl says so many women. Yeah, that's the only thing, you know, everyone in the chat and every one of my followers and supporters is a woman. So not that it would be bad, but it would just be interesting to like, it's just me and it's in an audience of all women. Like, I don't think there's anywhere you could go where the audience would be just all women. Like, I don't know, like, I just be like, okay, guys, like, what do I do? Like, this is like, you know, that'd make me a little bit nervous. I'd be like, damn, like, it's one thing to just be in a crowd of people, but if it's like all women and I'm the only man, like, that's crazy. Like, imagine you guys were sitting in an audience and you look to your left, you look to your right, and it's all women, like all women. And I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting there on the stage with like a small mic, like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" That'd be funny. That'd be pretty funny, actually. That'd be pretty funny. Uh, how are you guys able to just casually get hard and use women for their Squirtle? I don't even get turned on if a guy isn't attractive. I want to. Okay, this is what I'll do for you guys. I know that some of you guys have some intimacy questions. Okay, I don't have a problem with that, but you have to understand that I'm also streaming on TikTok, and sometimes things can get weird if you start talking too much about intimacy on TikTok, because anyone can just scroll past, right? So I'll say that for those of you guys who want a more intimacy conversation, I'm gonna do a subscribers only live. Okay, and honestly, that's the only way I know how to do this. I'm gonna do a subscribers only live, and I'm also gonna figure out how to do that for YouTube as well, something with that. But for now, once I get to 25 subscribers on TikTok, I'm going to do a subscribers only live for only those 25 people. So because that way the live stream is only going to be available to the people who are subscribed to me, and it won't show up on everyone's feed, right? It'll only be available to the people who are on the live stream. So I feel like there won't be as much issues with that. So if it's like a question about intimacy, not that I don't want to answer your question, Madison, but like as soon as I start talking about, the guys, too much of that, stuff gets weird on TikTok. Okay. Lopecia said it would be great. Men aren't women. Yeah, 100%. I agree, which is why I give you guys a perspective, right? That's the most amazing part of this, is that I can give you guys a perspective that you can then utilize to go out in your life and make decisions and better understand men, which is the best part of life, is to be able to go out into your real life and better understand men. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that you get to go out into your own life and better understand men? Right? It's an open conversation, and I love that about your live stream. Yeah. I like to give you guys, especially on a Friday, I want to give you guys the option to ask me some questions. Opinion, please. What if a guy says we are in a relationship but never wants to speak on the phone? You do realize how strange that is, right? That doesn't make any sense. How could he want to be in a relationship and not want to be on the phone? Like that should tell you that he's lying about what he said. Chase said, "Don't flatter yourself." Don't flatter myself. How? That you guys wouldn't want to hear from me, or that you guys wouldn't want to meet me? Is that what it is? You guys don't want to meet me? Tommy said you guys don't want to meet me. What advice can you give women 35 plus? The older men are a little different to work with and harder to find. Like I always say, it starts with your mindset. If you believe that your age is a limiting factor to getting the relationship that you want, then your age will be a limiting factor. Right? Like you literally have to brainwash yourself and, turn your mindset around to being like, look, I am worth being loved, and I will find the love of my life regardless of my age. My age is relevant. You know what I mean? Like that's really the first step, because the moment you start seeing it as a barrier, it will be a barrier. Someone said, do you go live with your guests? I could start doing that, but I'm going to have to figure out a lot of these technical glitches to make sure that the experience is as smooth as possible. So maybe I'll explore how to do that, because remember, I'm also streaming on TikTok on YouTube simultaneously. So it's not as straightforward. It's not as straightforward. Someone said, come to NYC. It's close to Toronto. Maybe NYC could be possible, because I feel like that would be a hub that, anyone can go to NYC. Right. And that would be something that everyone can reach me at. Can we match feelings with being intimate every day? Catch feelings with when being intimate every day? I mean, of course. I mean, we're all human beings, so definitely possible. Cream said, I'm from Toronto. Woohoo! All of you guys who are from Toronto or the GTA area or Canada, it's easiest for you to come. You don't have to worry about anything. Just take a quick flight, right? SH is from Germany. Where are you guys all from? Let me know in the chat. Tell me where's everyone from? I'm curious. Because Because maybe if everyone's from one particular place, maybe I'll just go there. Maybe I'll just go there. Someone said, how about Orlando, Florida? Yeah, let's all meet up in Miami. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? If we meet up in Miami, that would be insane. Mary says San Diego. I see Cameroon. I see Virginia, Phoenix. I actually really want to go to Phoenix, to be honest. Montreal, Israel, San Antonio, Texas. I see a couple people from Toronto. I'm in Miami too. What y'all doing watching me from Miami? Y'all crazy. Let's meet in Amsterdam. That'd be crazy. Montreal, Canada. Okay, Miami. How much people are in Miami? England, Jamaica. Queen Sarah said I'd have a blast in Miami. St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, Nigeria. Okay, I'm Nigerian. I gotta go back. Orlando, Florida, Michigan, Baltimore, Los Angeles, Philly, Oklahoma, Michigan. Oh, fun fact for you guys. I live in obviously Toronto now, but I used to live in Indiana. I used to live actually in Pendleton, Indiana, which is about 45 minutes from Indianapolis, Indiana. For those of you guys who are living in the United States, just a little fun fact for you guys. And there was a small period in my life where I lived in New York too. Madison says, I'm from Michigan, but I'll be in Canada in August for my birthday. You got to come to Toronto. Okay. South Africa. That's crazy. Angel said she lives in Indianapolis. That's awesome. I love it. I haven't been back in a while though. Maybe probably been over 5 years. But I used to live in Pendleton. You should know where Pendleton, Indiana is if you live in Indianapolis. Right. Melbourne, Australia. That's another place I really want to go to, Australia. Nigeria, but currently in China. Wow, you live in a crazy life. Hopefully one day I'll bump into you, Master. Y'all was calling me daddy. Now y'all calling me master. Y'all wild in the chat. Y'all straight wild in the chat. But it's possible to catch me in downtown Toronto. I mean, I'd be in downtown Toronto. You might see me walking around at the store. You might see me on the street. I've met people. Now it's gone to the point where I do meet people and they're like, yo, I've been seeing you on TikTok. I've been watching your TikToks. I had a girl that I met where we were doing some content stuff. I was helping my friend shoot a commercial and she was like, she was with me for 30 minutes and then she was like, I didn't want to say it earlier, but I follow you on TikTok. I recognize you from TikTok. So it's funny now. It's interesting. Yo, y'all wild, daddy, poppy, whatever y'all want to call me. As long as it's not mean, I don't mind. Do you have a team? Like a team like what? Like a team like what? Like a Discord? Like a group chat? What do you mean like a team? UK here too. I know that there's a good amount of people on my followers that are from the UK. Bunny World says Toronto, which street do you live? I can't give you guys that. That might be a little bit intense. I'll tell you that I do live downtown. I live King Street West area. That's the area. Okay. There's someone from Kenya. Say something about that, please. Kenya's awesome. I love to go to Kenya. Imagine I gave you guys my address and there was 100 women downstairs in the lobby. That would be insane. You can, if you guys go out, it's possible for you to see me out. Like I said, I'd be on King Street West. So King Street West, obviously where everyone's go out. Someone said Daddy Squad. Is that what you guys want to be called? I would assume that you guys don't want to be called Daddy Squad. I don't think that that's what you guys want to be called. I think you guys would probably want to be called something more interesting and unique than Daddy Squad. Okay, I would imagine. Maybe I'm confused. Okay. Someone said, "Come, I will host you in Kenya." That would be interesting. As SA said, I thought you wanted to invite your moderators to sit next to you and moderate the chat. Yeah, that could be something that we do for the live version. In the live version, you guys are with me. And then we have a live studio audience as well. You know what I mean? Like, and you guys are moderating, but like, like actually moderating, but like you're up there. So it's almost like you get the visual of what's going on online. Daddy Squad is crazy. Yeah, I agree. Like Daddy Squad is absolutely insanity. Okay. So, that was pretty much it for today. I hope I got a chance to get some of your guys' questions in. If you guys have any more questions for me, or I missed a question that you may have had, okay. Lapisha says, don't listen to the pick Misha. Daddy Squad. Y'all funny. Okay. If you guys have any more questions for me, you guys can ask me on Instagram. I'm trying to my best to respond to everyone's Instagram message because I'm a busy guy, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. I got a lot of stuff to do during the week and even the weekend. So I do my best to try and answer everyone's most people's message. I'm just so behind now. But yeah, if you have a personal question for me, you can ask it on Instagram. What's my Instagram? It's right there. You see how I make stuff very simple for you? I don't make you guys work for anything. You just can screenshot it and it's exactly this. Where the Instagram thing is next to, that's my name. Where the YouTube thing is next to, that's my name. Okay. Right. And you can go there and on Instagram and send me a message, or you can just follow me if you want to be up my butt and see everything that I'm doing. I haven't even really had time to post on Instagram because I've been so busy, but I'll fix it. On YouTube, I post a lot on there. Okay. I be spamming. I be posting every day. So on YouTube, you also got to follow me as well and make sure that you're subscribing to me. Make sure you're watching all the videos all the way through and commenting. Okay. So that I know that you're there and you're participating everywhere. All right. So very important that you're subscribed to me on YouTube as well, right? You don't just want to be getting 20-second, 30-second videos from me, because if you stay here with me for this long, then that means you like the sound of my voice. So you're going to like it even better when you're watching 20-minute videos on YouTube. So make sure that you're subscribed to me on YouTube. Okay. Every weekday, for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with my schedule, I'm live every weekday from 4 p.m. to whenever, right? So if you ever miss a live, you got to come watch at 4 p.m. So set your alarm whenever 4 p.m. Eastern is for you. That is the time I'll be live. So make sure that you're there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I am live every day. Okay. So make sure you guys are joining for that. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. If you follow me on YouTube, you're going to see a video you're going to see a couple videos this weekend. So make sure you're following me on YouTube. I will see you guys next week on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great rest of your weekend. Or if your weekend's already started, I love you so much. I care about you so much. I can't wait to spend more time with you next week. And I'll see you later. Take care of yourself. Go on good dates. Meet good people. Have good laughs. Find good love. All that good stuff. Okay? I love you so much. Bye.